Now I want to shift to another part of the world and somebody I'm really very, very happy to have met tonight for the first time, and that is Congresswoman Meng. She is the first Asian American member of Congress from New York. She's the only representative of Asian descent on the entire East Coast. She's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and she serves on the subcommittees on Asia and the Pacific and Middle East and Africa. And if you haven't heard about her or met her, we have with us tonight Chinese American friends of Joe and me, and 2 officials from the Chinese consulate in New York who are very happy that we asked Congressman Meng to speak. And they're also happy about the Civic League's recognition of China for accepting Jews without visas or papers during the Holocaust, about the unique role that Dr. Feng Shangho, the Chinese Consul General in Vienna, played in giving visas to 30,000 Jews, and about Shanghai for receiving Jews and sustaining them over World War II, until well after World War II was over, at least 19,000. And as you'll see in the dinner journal, if you go to the inside, almost to the end of the journal, you will see that the Civic League stands together wanting to recognize 2 ancient peoples, Albanian and Chinese, both with close relationships with Israel and the United States. We're very happy that Congresswoman Meng said that she would join us tonight. Please.
Are you ready for another speech? Good evening, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Meng, and I'm here all the way from Queens, New York, and it's such an honor to join all of you here today. To Mr. Ambassador, to Rabbi Potasnik, to Chairman Cox, to everyone who's here tonight, to our civic leaders and clergy leaders. I especially want to thank Congressman Joe DioGuardi. Been tongue-tied. This is my first time meeting them. I was very excited. To Shirley, Cloyes, DioGuardi, who I've also met for the first time tonight, and of course to our co-chair, Ron Retner. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you do. You know, I get to go to a lot of events, and every single night there are events all throughout the city in Washington, D.C., with so many leaders and so many groups. But I have to tell you that tonight's event has really stood out to me. I rarely am able to stay for such a long time, and even if I didn't have the time tonight, I wanted to be here tonight. I've learned so much. I've learned so much from all the speakers, from Senator McCain and Senator Schumer as well. But really, tonight's event, this journal, these awards that were given to the board members, doesn't come just out of knowledge up here, but it truly comes from the heart. And you can see that and you can feel that in the room tonight. So once again, to Joe and Shirley, thank you so much. You've really touched me with the tremendous work that you've done. For those of you who don't know me, I was born and raised in Queens. My parents were immigrants to this country in the early 70s. I'm so proud to represent parts of Queens, from Bayside to Forest Hills to Ridgewood. I always forget some towns, so someone's going to get upset. But in that whole area, I'm proud to serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee and the Small Business Committee. And I have to tell you that the New York delegation, our 27 Congress members and our senators really work in a bipartisan fashion. And that's something that we are very lucky to have here in New York. On the Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm especially proud to work with, and you'll hear from them via video, I believe, a little later, Congress members Dana Rohrabacher and Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen. We are of different parties, but I can tell you that the House Foreign Affairs Committee is one of the few committees that works very well together and gets things done. I'm proud that one of my first pieces of legislation to be passed into law in Congress was regarding the desecration of cemeteries and speaking out against that and religious intolerance. And I think that being able to be here tonight, to be part of AACL's 25th anniversary celebration, and of this recognition of Shanghai's rescue of Jews, and also of Albania's rescue of Jews during the Holocaust. Can you imagine a world if every nation and people had reacted with the compassion of those who were in Shanghai and Albania during the Holocaust? Can you just imagine? And I read what Shirley wrote, which is towards the back of the journal, and it talks about how most countries refuse to alter their restrictive immigration policies. And so Jews who were trying to escape the Nazi reign of terror found themselves turned away by various countries and embassies. But one of those exceptions, Dr. Fen Shan-ho, the Chinese Consul General in Vienna, issued visas to China to 30,000 Jews. And later on, when he was asked why, he said, "I thought it only natural to feel compassion and to want to help. From the basic standpoint of humanity, that is the way it should be." That is a piece of history that I did not even know growing up as a Chinese American in the United States. And so I'm so glad that Shirley and Joe and AACL are working so hard to promote that piece of history, because how wonderful a message that would send in a world with everything that's going on today, and the important message of tolerance that we all around the world so desperately need to hear. It's great to see such diversity here and such recognition across many communities of historical truths about genocide and the importance of genocide prevention in our time. In that vein, there is still so much work to do in relation to the recent history of the Balkans. And I've been active on this on the Foreign Affairs Committee. We're working on a resolution regarding the need for justice in the murders of the Bitici brothers, who are also American citizens. We've also co-sponsored a resolution regarding the genocide at Srebrenica. Sorry about my pronunciation. And we're working toward enough co-sponsorships of that resolutions to make it eligible for consideration in our Foreign Affairs Committee. The history of Albania and the Albanian peoples must be recognized and celebrated, as must the strong relations between Albanians and the American and Jewish peoples. I'll continue to work with you to do this in any way that we can. Once again, I really wanted to be here and to thank all of you for your work. To Joe and Shirley, I'm so impressed and so happy that I finally got to meet you tonight, and really look forward to working with you and the board and everyone here. Thank you so much for the strong message that you send to the world.